Yeah, you touch the art.
I've been tanning here lately.
Yeah. Uh huh.
What about that? That ain't better. All right, welcome to the Plus Up Podcast, guys. I'm
Special
obviously Cody
guest.
Moreland.
We got special guest. Pro scroll dogger, super handler, Mr. Jon Perkins. John, how are you doing?
Good, how y'all?
Awesome.
On
Awesome.
top of the world, doing great.
Mr. John, uh, you gotten into podcasting? What do you think about the podcasting world?
I don't. It's not bad. It just sucks trying to get on the same schedule as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you all know all too well. It's the same thing. It's this time of year. Everybody's got something going on with kids or the house or work or whatever. So it makes it difficult at times. But I enjoy it. I enjoy getting talking to different people and hearing how they won or what they won or any of that. So I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Yeah, it's tough because you have your world
Yeah.
and they have their world. And obviously, nobody's getting paid for this,
Yeah.
really, or we're not. You might have one of the joy contracts we need.
Hey, if you are, like, send us some tips afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. We need to pay some bills around here.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
understand.
such a weird thing because, really, I mean, we're doing it to try to spread the word about squirrel dogs, to promote it, and trying to get everybody's worlds to line up is
Yeah,
tough. So,
yep, it is. That is for sure.
yep. But uh, what you hunting right now? Knockout?
Yeah, that's all I've really got right now, and I don't usually keep more than one. I might keep a young dog, and like I said, this year right now, I've got a couple young dogs down at Braxton Smith's right now that he's kind of getting started for me. Then I'll pick one of those to try to make something out of this year. I'm no pup guy. And this time of year, I'm on a bunch of yards on the side, and I've got a big farm I take care of, and of course, work a full time job. So I don't have time for a young dog this time of year. And I've never been one. I know some people hunt in the summertime, squirrel dogs. I've never been one to do it. So this time of year, like I said, it's just hard for me to try to pull and start with a young dog. So I set my money and my dogs to Braxton and let him make them for me, then I can finish them out.
Ain't no doubt. Now,
Play to your strengths. That's uh, it, it takes a village, as they say. Like
Yeah,
yeah, some guys are like good puppy guys, but if they keep the dog for very long, they'll mess them up.
yeah. Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people like that. Now, like Michael's totally opposite me. And now, I love a young dog. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
send it to me when it's running and treeing, and let me fine tune it to how I want. That's when I want to get it, and that's when I enjoy it. But the however many days or weeks or months it leads up to getting that thing going and treating its own squirrel, drives me crazy. Then like I said, then when of course when hunting season comes in, I'm focused on, keeping knockout ready or whatever it is I've got here, so it's really hard for me to balance trying to hunt a pup and get it started versus keeping him ready or what I consider ready anyway to go to a hunt.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Now, do you keep a
You're,
bunch of dogs at one time?
No, so like I said, usually I'll keep knockout here, then I might have something, that's young and going that I'm fooling with and, selling or trying to make, a hopeful winner or whatever. But no, I usually don't keep much.
So really, no more than two, generally.
Now I might have a female here with a litter of pups or something like that. And, like I said, right now I've got a coon dog. I'm hunting for somebody. But no, I usually don't keep 3, 4 at the most.
mm-hmm. Do you do much competition coon hunting?
No, now I used to quite a bit before I got into this. I handled for some guys and ripping around up and down the road, but had some bad luck there. I got in the semifinals, top 9 or 7 or 8, whatever it was, in 2009, the PKC World. And right after we got back, the dog that I hunted out there, she caught blastomycosis and died. Then ended up working out a deal with a guy in Pennsylvania and got a real nice female, started pushing her, and had her up high in the state race and all that. And she ended up getting hit by a car at added hunt. Michael was hunting for me, and just terrible bad luck there. And I ended up losing 3 there in like a little over a year and a half. And I kind of stepped away and just took a break. And had a great uncle that actually got me and Michael into coon hunting and stuff. And just he quit and hadn't hunted for 15, 20 years. And all of a sudden, just out of the blue one day, he's like, "Hey, I want to go buy a dog." And we went and bought a half cur, half English. And next thing you know, he's buying a hound from God knows where. Then we take it to a hunt, and he's buying another one. The next thing you know, he's got a kennel full down there, and I'm back coon hunting.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, I met J.R. Gray and them. They come up. They don't live no piece from me. They're up here in this country 4 or 5 nights a week, and I take them and hunt. Which now been up here so long, I usually ain't got to go with them, or they know enough spots up here. So. And David Vanover, he comes up a lot. That's the dog I've got for him right now. I'm taking him to a Friday night. They've got it's a PKC hunt. It's basically you win it and you get qualified for that $200,000 hunt in Illinois.
Yeah. Kind of similar to like, I guess, the Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, some along that lines. It's 16 dogs, and I think it's $500 entry or whatever, and you can take a $5,000 payout, or you can take a free entry and go right straight to the $200,000. So it ain't too far here from the house, about 45 minutes. So he sent him up here to me, and I'm gonna take him over and see if we can have some luck. We'll see.
Yeah.
So are you in flat country or hills?
No, it's rolling hills here where I'm at. Now we can get down. I ain't but about 10 minutes from the river, and it's flat. Big river bottoms down there, but it's patchy. It's still a lot of tobacco patches and cornfields. You ain't got real big woods. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're in hills, but we've got the game. I mean, I'll take my place. I mean, I'm sure that, hearing you and Wade talk about down there, killing X amount, in no time. We don't have them like that, but it ain't nothing for me to go out and hunt an iron tree, 6 or 7 singles. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think the ground floor hunt we had up this year, we had 27 dogs, and I think we scored on 115 or 113 squirrels, something like that.
Yeah, that's a
yeah, y'all got a good game.
Yeah. We ain't got, we got deer, we got turkeys, we got coons. I might jinx myself tonight, but I think last night or night before last, whatever it was, I literally left my house and was gone to iron 5 minutes and treed 3 singles and was back in the bed,
Wow.
You're
Go ahead, Shane.
Well, I'm sorry. You're a big buck hunter too. Like you go after the big deer, right?
Yeah. Now when I was years ago, I shot anything that was at its ears or better, but now I try to single it out, at least try to kill a pretty decent one anyway.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Did you get one this year?
Yeah, I actually killed him the last day of gun season.
So what's the big deer up there score?
I can kill a 140-inch deer about every 3 days.
Dang. We don't have them like that. These pine thickets don't grow them that big.
Yeah, I mean we're blessed. I mean it ain't. I mean, I guess I'm saying that bragging, but I'm really not. I mean that 135, 140-inch deer, they're common. You know what I mean? They ain't.
Well, hey, you're in the bluegrass state. I mean, the grass is blue for a reason.
Yeah, the
It's
number
got good
one
minerals there.
Yeah, the number one deer, the Kentucky's number one, which it was found, which somebody posted, but either way, it was found.
Yeah.
It ain't way a crow flies. It didn't come from 4 miles here from my house.
Dang.
Yeah.
So
y'all didn't poach it? It was somebody else.
I would have. I'd have shot it in the governor's yard if I'd have seen it.
So, like a big deer there that you're chasing, is it a 170, 180, 160?
Yeah, I mean, it can be. I'm more so now where I'm at the age now and had it and killed enough, I guess, that I'm more so trying to kill that 5.5+ year old deer. And it don't matter if he's 130 or if he's 190. If that's you know what I'm saying, if that's his, if that's what if I can get him to 5.5, 6.5, that's what I'm targeting. And that's where I'm at. I plant here at the house. I plant 15, 20 acres of corn, 15 acres of soybeans. I've got alfalfa, clover. I'm trying to grow the biggest deer I can, and if I don't find him here, I've got other farms leased. I've got almost 400 acres behind me leased. I mean, I've got farms all over, and that's I can find a deer anywhere. I'm looking for that specific deer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This year, I mean, I had a really, really good deer that was probably pushing in the 80s in August, and blue tongue. He ended up getting killed by blue tongue. Then had another one that was in the 160s, and same thing, killed him. And I had a couple other really good deer here at the house, but they really needed one more year, and just freak accident found the deer I ended up killing. Between me and Michael, we set over 100 hours on him.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in a tough spot to get to, and you had to be on pins and needles getting in and out of there, and he was tough. But he's 170 inches too.
So do you feed during the summer for deer and minerals and?
I've got minerals and salt licks and all that kind of stuff out, and of course I got clover fields and a little bit of alfalfa in another field and stuff. So they got plenty to eat usually year round, and we dig little ponds that on sections of the farm that ain't got water, just to keep them from having to go too far. So,
you're big into habitat management then.
I wish I could be bigger, but yeah, I mean, we try to do everything we can. That way the deer stay here, which another thing that really helps me, I've got a neighbor here that owns 500 acres beside me, and they absolutely do nothing to the farms but deer and turkey hunt them. But, I mean, this has been 15 years ago. They wouldn't even let their grandkids shoot 140-inch deer. I mean, they're strict management. Last year, either last year or the year before last, Chris, I talked to him and his dad. I think he's 83, and we was just talking. It was actually the year Michael had killed a deer, and it went over on them, and we asked him, we go, find it. And after we found it, we talked to him like a couple of days later. But I said, y'all had any luck? He's like, yeah. He said, Dad killed one there the other day. He said, I didn't want it to. He really needed another year. But I was like, oh yeah, how big? He's like 187.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah. You ever run them with deer or with dogs? You ever run deer dogs?
1,000 coon dogs that would drive them out of this country.
Yeah.
Well, what's fun is
we've been allowed up here.
Well, hey, you ought to go to Mississippi to one of the squirrel hunts in the Delta, and you'll get opportunity.
Yeah,
you're damn sure get the opportunity.
Yeah. That's probably about the only thing that I haven't done. I haven't hog hunted or deer hunted, with dogs, but about everything else I've done at some point in time.
It's like a cross between the Dukes of Hazzard and deer hunting. Do what? What'd you say, Cody?
I was asking.
The dog that I've got up here right now, it come from Brian Hudson, is where Vanover bought him from. So I think actually Austin hunted him some. I think the dog's. I think the dog's won like 50, 60,000. So I mean,
what's the name of it?
Bojo. He's off of Mojo or Rodeo or Mason or I don't know. He's off one of them.
Austin's we're in the same deer hunting club. We run them Walker hounds, them deer.
Yeah.
So I like to hunt bucks too. I just like to hunt every one that's in front of them dogs. I horn hunt too. It's just I might have a basket full of small deer, and I got a couple decent deer from around here. Yeah. But I've got to where if I'm sitting in a tree, or if I don't think I deer hunted one time without my kids last year still hunting. We call it still hunting, but if my kids want to go, shoot what you want to shoot, and let's get it over with, and I'll run deer dogs.
People ask me all the time if I get mad if a neighbor shoots one and stuff like that. I'm like, no, it don't bother me. Now, I had my uncle come down here this year, and he's killed a pile of deer and literally showed him one deer not to shoot, and he shoots it. Now, that was kind of aggravating, but you know what I'm saying? That stuff don't bother me. Kids or, just like I tell everybody, they might not have the time I have to hunt. I got a job where I can literally wake up in the morning and call in and say, hey, fellas, I ain't going to be there. If I get a one shows up on camera, and I can literally just call off, and I'm in there hunting the next morning. But there's a lot of guys that don't. They get here on Friday before opening day of gun season, and they're ripping and running full wheelers and putting out piles of corn, and boom, they go in there, they shoot the first 130-inch deer they see, and that's fine. If that makes them happy, I don't care. It don't bother me.
Yeah. I think that so a big deer here is 130 inches. Like people put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, that's like I'll be honest. My wife killed one that I found and I had it pinpointed. She pulled the trigger, and but other than that, the biggest deer I've killed several in the 120s, but I've never killed one at clip 130. And she killed one. She's killed 5 deer. She's killed 130, 121, and just. But that's a big deer here. So if we had deer like that, okay,
it'd be different. Yeah, and that's what I tell everybody. You got to hunt the biggest deer that's in your area. You can't kill a 160 if 160 ain't there.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. My fiance, I mean, she killed 144 and some change inch deer with a bow the first year we got together, and that's the biggest deer she's ever killed. Then this year, I had another really good deer on camera that I was wondering. He's probably 6.5-year-old deer, 9-pointer, and I told her as soon as we sat down, I said, "Look, there's a good chance we're going to see this 10-pointer, and if we do, you're not killing him." Okay, no big deal. It's muzzleloading. We have 2 days in October, it's Saturday and Sunday, and we literally, went in there and sat down, and I told her that, and 30 minutes before dark, coming through a thicket and some CRP field, I said, "Oh, here comes a buck." "Where?" I said, "Right there on that hill." Well, she gets down on the gun, and she starts freaking out. She said, "It's a giant." I said, "No, it's not. It's 130-inch 8-pointer. I mean, it was small, little 16 inches, it was small." She said, "No, it's a giant." I said, "Where are you looking at?" She said, "Right there behind the pond." Well, I turned and looked, and he raised his head up, and I said, "Oh, shit." I didn't know what deer. It caught me off guard, too.
Yeah. It is a giant. Yeah. Give me that gun. Give me the gun.
As a matter of fact, it is.
She's literally on the safety, fixing to shoot. And I said, no, and I pulled up binoculars, and I was like, "Nope." I said, "That's that 10-pointer. I was like, "We're not killing him." I said, "He needs one more year." And she's like, "Well, somebody else will kill him." I was like, "Look, they might do it, but I'm always going to bet on the deer." I was like, "I know that if you kill him, he dang sure ain't going to make it."
That's
so
right.
Anyway, we turn around, pass him. Then my uncle, Michael's brother, comes down here, and like the 4th day of gun season, he comes out running the doe. After I pass him at 5 yards 2 days before with a bow, he comes out running does in front of him with a rifle, and he kills him. And he literally shoots, calls me, "I think I messed up." So what'd you do? He said, "I think I killed that 10-pointer. I still ain't told my fiance, and if she watches this podcast, she's going to kill me. So she's still she's going to chase him this year.
She ain't chasing him.
No. I'm just going to blame it on Blue Tongue.
Yeah, Blue Tongue. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
So we have a question here. I don't know, can you see this? Does it pop up on your screen?
Yeah, Brad Crum.
Yeah, so it says, ask John if he coon hunts the same ground as he deer hunts during deer season.
Buddy, I've had when I wasn't coon hunting, or if I was after a big one and he wasn't moving, or I needed to get him up and move, there's been many a times I've called JR or somebody around here and had them come in there and hunt that night, and literally me go in there the next morning and either see the deer or kill him, and where I haven't seen him in 4 or 5 days, just to get him up moving around.
Yeah.
People don't. People, like I said, I chase as many big deer as I can as anybody. I'm as diehard, as deer hunter, but they have no idea. If they would ever just do it and see them deer 9 times out of 10 are up here, the only thing they do is they run around on the other hillside. They don't run 60, 70 yards and bed right back down.
Yep.
We are running deer with dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. Unless it's rut, which our rut's different. I'm sure y'all's rut comes in at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, ours kills us, because we'd have a lot bigger deer if our gun season didn't fall right in the middle of rut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So our rut comes in January 1st-ish. Well, bow season starts August.
Yeah.
So so unless it's rut, them deer dogs are gonna jump the deer. The buck is gonna run amongst a group of does, toss the dogs off on the does generally,
Yeah. Then
and
cut it.
then they're gonna slip back over and lay down. And everybody's worried about it. Well, you see more deer when you run a pack of deer dogs through there that are up on their feet moving earlier
Yeah.
than the ones that lay there until dark.
Yeah. We've been up in Indiana, Ohio at squirrel hunts and literally walk in on, go up there on public ground during a competition hunt and run into bow hunters or whatever, then turn around and see them the next day and like, hey man, we seen twice the deer, three times the deer after you all come through than we ever did see before you got here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they like I said, people don't know, but they don't know no different. You know what I mean? If
Hmm.
they actually spent time in the woods hunting a dog and got to see, then they would understand. But it's just part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's get back to these dogs right quick. I do have a question. Would you prefer to hunt at night with a coon dog or hunt during the day? And is it because of the hours? If you would do,
I, for me, I think it's a double-sided question because I still love the hound side, run the track, big old locate. I still love that part. I love the action part and the daytime being able to get home with, especially with the kids. I got two kids now.
Right.
I like the action. I hunted 2 hours or whatever. Hunted an hour and up 5 minutes the other night, made 3 trees. Well, I'd have done 10 trees the other day. If I'd have hunted, a squirrel dog.
yeah,
That's the that's probably the main difference for me is just I like the whole lot more action packed now versus before.
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
But like I said, I still get the urge and the itch to chase a coon dog. I still enjoy it. But you know, tonight if mine's sitting in there 1.5 miles and run something or whatever, then I'm gonna cuss it and be like, I ain't going again till you know 6 months from now.
yeah. There's a lot of action going on in coon hunts, but a lot of time it's walking a long ways to a dog.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah. You gotta be
it
in
might
shape.
it might take you 20 minutes to get over that thing.
yeah.
So
But now,
what about like during the season? What do you do to keep knockout in shape? Do you run him on a treadmill or run him on a four wheeler or just hunt him?
just hunt him. Even back when I had crews, he wouldn't run on a treadmill, and I just started hunting. I
Hmm.
some guy, everybody does things different. I usually start around September when it's cooler, when it starts getting some cooler evening stuff, and I might not make one tree for 5 or 6 days, but I might leave him treed for 25 minutes before I ever even go to him. Make
Yeah.
that one tree, and
Yeah,
I didn't come back out, go to the house, and put him up, and do it again the next day. And I might do that for a week, then start making it where I'm stretching out there 2 or 3 trees and leaving him 10, 15 minutes every tree, then
Hmm.
stuff like that. Which a lot of that come from back when USDC at one time when I was running it, they couldn't you couldn't leave the cast. All the cast had to stay together, so it wasn't nothing for have to leave a dog tree for 45 minutes before you ever got to them. So
Yeah.
I just started hunting that way, and I always have anyway. Even when I was coon hunting full time, just I ain't worried about going in there handling them. I don't run to them, and if I ever have to, if I have one that I've got to run to the state tree, he ain't staying here.
Yeah.
so so you said that back when the rule was there, all the cats had to stay together. Did you like it better that way, or do you like it like it is now?
I know I'd stay together. You're gonna score on less squirrels probably just because of the fact they are going to ride out if they have to sit there 45, 50 minutes. But here's the thing. If we're hunting for a brand new pickup truck and Shane has to go in there now to get his and me and you's walking in there to go score your tree and we hear his hush and it moved 300 or 400 yards to the left, we ain't got to question it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know because he's standing right there with us. You know what I mean? He ain't get the chance to go in there and handle his or, whatever.
I get it. Well, I say that's always generally a debate for whatever reason. Every every spring, that's a debate, and I see some people say you want to go back to tree monsters or something. So, do you think there's any validity to that?
The days of the tree monsters is over, boys. It's just
I
that
agree.
them days is over.
I
What
There,
agree.
caused them to quit going, to quit staying together then? The
well,
treating less squirrels?
no, they couldn't. A lot of them wouldn't stay treed. They voted that rule in for a year. Then the next thing you know, when they had to walk by that little cur dog because they was sitting in there going to, Megatron in their tree 300, and the cur dog gets over a tree 30 yards past them, and they don't get to go handle it, and they just keep right on trucking and walking by them. And next thing you know, here he comes waddling right there behind you.
Yeah.
That's
Garmin
why.
helped out with that.
Oh yeah,
with them with them vapors in there.
yeah. And that's another thing. You know, I tell everybody I'll try to outhandle my mother, my dad. For that hour and a half, I'm trying to beat you. But if I've got to run an illegal collar or whatever, do that. My homework should have been done Monday through Friday. I ain't doing it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's apparently a big deal. I mean, apparently somebody's catching wind of it because there's getting searched
Oh,
at.
they're checking so much. It blows my mind. That's like premeditated cheating. That's
Well,
not.
and I mean, it was just like this year. We'd heard wind. Because I'm on the board of USDC. We'd heard wind that there was some out there. There was never no, and I had so many people call me. Oh, it was because you think it was me. I said, buddy, I'll show you the text. There was never nothing that was said that so and so's got one, Shane's got one, Wade's got one, John's got one. It was never nothing like that. We suspect that there's collars out there. So I said, you know what? As a board, we need to figure out what to do because the JPI is coming up. We're hunting for way too much money for so and so to drive 10, 12 hours, come up here and get beat by somebody that's got a legal collar. I said,
Yes.
let's just check them. We'll figure it out. It's going to be a pain in the butt, and it was. But, at least everybody had the peace of mind when they went out there. If they got beat because they either got outhandled or outdogged. It wasn't
Yeah.
because they had a cheating collar.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. And the bad part is even if you suspect somebody that they're not getting their collar checked, it's such a weird deal because if you say, "Hey man, can I see your collar?" You're more or less calling them a cheater.
Yeah.
At least
Dude,
you're going ahead and checking everybody's at the beginning.
I
Yeah.
don't ever think about it. Like it just like like it's so far out of my mind to even try that I don't even think about it. Like so we're all collared up, we're fixing to cut loose. I don't think about, hey, let me check your collar. It never crosses my mind until later on. Like hey, I was on a cast one time at LBL and the dogs got on some spot that you couldn't hunt. And I was hunting with the old man. It was his first cast, and so let's call a timeout. We'll go get the dogs. All three of them are treed. We'll go get the dogs and we'll bring them back. And he said, "Can I just tone mine and get her back over here?" I was like, "You got a shot collar on her?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the only collar I got." I was like, "Man," it's like, no, don't tone her.
I'm still old school because I wish we wasn't allowed to use the Garmins. I
Yeah.
understand the safety and all that kind of stuff, but here's the thing:
It changes. It changes the game. It does.
100%. If you don't know where to pitch yours towards, it's
I hear
hard.
a dog. I think it's that way.
For sure.
And,
Yeah.
but like I said, I grew up old school, with the coon hunts and stuff where you still couldn't use them, and by the first or second drop, if everybody's got treed and stuff, I knew what yours was probably doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put more of the handling side into it versus the dog side to know, hey, I know that yours is over fixed to get treed, or yours is over maybe hung up on something, whether it's bulldoze or whatever, blah blah blah. But like I said, I understand the part of it that it does benefit. It keeps dogs in safety and stuff like that, but you take that Garmin away from a lot of these people and watch how much winning they do.
Oh, dude. How many casts have you been on? It's like this right here. Like they're just like their head is like down they never look up. Like they're just like stuck in the Garmin.
Hey, you have no idea. I can tell you people that's done a pile of winning, and you take that Garmin away from them, and they don't get a smell.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I've got the tool and I like to use it. If my dog's sitting still, I'm trying to listen for him. I know when to stop.
Yeah,
Can we listen? And if I can use it, I'm gonna use it. But I just I understand both sides of it. I mean, my dog's been treed so far away that I could hear him, but it was just so faint you really couldn't even tell the direction. And I'm
yeah.
like I can hear him too, but I can't tell which direction he is. And I'm like, well, it shows he's this way.
And like I said, if it was voted in right now with the type of dog that Knockouts guy is, if there ain't nothing moving, it ain't nothing for him to be sitting in there a mile somewhere underneath one. And without that Garmin, I'm probably not going to get him treated unless he's just in the right, perfect
Yeah.
spot.
Right.
But, back when I was hunting crews and pushing him a bunch, we were still not using Garmin's. The cast could vote on it. And I used to make Greg Maynard so mad every time I'd vote, every time I draw him, he'd say, let's vote. We going to use Garmin? I said, no, not this round. We ain't.
Well, it's that's when a big mouth dog helps.
Well, Cruz, he was going to get treed within 700 yards every time you cut him. Now, when he got older and got more accurate and stuff like that, if there wasn't nothing moving, he might stretch out there and be a half mile somewhere. But 90% of the time, he was retrieved 700 yards and in. Of course, he's a big mouth dog and a big tree dog, and you knew where he was going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, if it was voted in now that way, it would be rougher on me on bad days, but I'd still take it.
Yeah.
Well, that is interesting.
Dude, like it don't really matter to me what the rule, as long as it's full elimination. I'll play and adapt to any of it. Like it doesn't matter. Like whatever rules we want to play by, as long as everybody's playing by the same rules, I'm good with it. I'll just adapt, get a different dog or whatever.
Yeah, and ultimately that's what it's come to. And as far as I'm concerned, which I don't hunt near as much NSD like I used to, but the dogs today in the USDC versus 5 years ago are so much head above what they was then.
So is that contribute to breeding, or is it contribute to just better dog men and handlers?
You may be honest with you?
Training them. Yeah.
It was all because of Woody.
Yeah. Well, no, he was a game changer. But
when he was so dominant, the years the 4 or 5 years he was so dominant, you could just see everybody was training and breeding and trying to add more hound and figure out the right mixture to get that dog that was going to get treated on them bad days. Go out today, this afternoon, the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour, and it's a cold front coming in, and there ain't nothing moving, and he racks up 7, 8 trees, then turn around the next day, and it's great, and he trees 6 singles. They was everybody, and we still are. I mean, we still trying to make that, because in my eyes, that's still the ultimate best that's ever been as far as a competition style dog.
I agree.
I honestly think that he was the biggest part in getting dogs to be better and strive for what more of the competition style. Get gone, get treed, stay treed, big mouth, but have squirrels.
I think so too. I agree 100%.
You think people started breeding dogs better to make them type of dogs?
Yeah, 100%.
Might have helped.
Yeah, I mean, you started seeing more of the. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was tree and curs out there because Jam and Bo was breeding a bunch and all that, but you started seeing more of that. Okay, this guy's got a super super nice slick tree and hound that's got a big old mouth, dead silent. Well, next thing you know, she's down there. She's getting bred to Hummer. She's getting bred to some big powerful squirrel dog that was a dead accurate squirrel treer. And next thing you know, you got something that was, balanced and pretty nice. Now, not all of them, mate, but for the most part, you started seeing more of the heavier hound crosses.
Yeah.
And
well, you think about it, like the hounds, like Walker dogs, have been bred for competition for way longer than the squirrel dogs have, and they have traits that are advantageous to a competition hunt because they pull the trigger faster. They don't.
There ain't no better.
Yeah, they don't peck around and get and trying to be right. They are like a lot of times. Man, I've got a female right now that's super accurate.
Yeah.
Bam, pulls the trigger, gets treed. They don't mess around. They don't leave the tree near as bad. It's just so many more advantages to hunting a half hound or 3/4 hound or a full hound. Uh,
But and you've seen it. I mean, you when you was hunting hounds, how many times did that hound roll in there 100 yards and he opened 4, 5, 6 times and just throws a big old locate, comes treed, and next thing you know, them cur dogs are standing there like, what? Wait a minute, what is that? Let me go
blows
over
them up.
what he got.
Yeah.
It blowed their mind. I'll never forget one time that this dog done a bunch of winning. I'm not going to say his name, and he's a very well known trainer and come to the USDC and him and Michael draw out and they cut loose and Woody shoots in there about 200. Boom, just comes treed. They take off across this cut cornfield, headed in there to him. He says, "Go ahead and tree me." Michael said, "Where at?" He said, "Right there." He said, "I'm on past you." He said, "Mine ain't never been another dog." He said, "He ain't never backed another dog." He said, "He's on there past him." Okay. Get in there. Sure enough, he's bellied up right there beside Woody, right on the same tree. He said, "I ain't never seen that, and I've hunted this dog with 60 different cur dogs." He said, but he never hunted him with that big mouth hound, hound type that treed in there. I mean, he'd never seen it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll mess them up, blow their mind.
Yeah.
So Woody's still alive, ain't he?
Oh, yeah.
How old is he now?
12.
Are y'all still breeding him a bunch? Or is Michael still breeding him a bunch?
Well, I mean, he's still breeding him. Of course, Michael, he's a little more expensive than most of your squirrel dogs on the breeding. But here's the thing, you weed out the people that want to say they got a litter of Woody pups.
Yeah, that's right.
You get the serious ones that come up here and say, "Hey, I want to breed to him, and I'm gonna make sure that these pups go to people's hands that's going to give them a chance, or I'm going to give them a chance, whichever way it was." But yeah, he actually he just bred him about a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, would you say that Knockout, you see a lot of similar traits in Knockout that you saw in Woody, or is he a little different hunting style?
Oh no, not even close. Yeah, Knockout's not gambling. He ain't got no gamble to him.
Wow.
He ain't got none whatsoever. And when I tell you this, like I said, it's not me bragging. I'm just telling you how it is. If he treated the mailbox, you better open the door. And that's, you know what I mean? That's him. I mean, he ain't got no gamble to him whatsoever. I mean, if he trees, you're either going to see it, it's in a hole, or it's rode out. There ain't no guesswork. That's not him. I would love for him to gamble just a little bit more. I mean, I've been beating a lot of casts where, if I just get treed one more time, just circle tree, whatever, just get treed.
Yeah.
That ain't him.
It is a good feeling, though, when you walk up and you know one's bad about having one. You say, "Oh, it's your ass now."
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when he gets treed, I mean, I've never walked into a tree going, "Dang, I hope he's got this one." I'm fixing to see this one. You know what I mean? It's just that's how he is. He went right there before the World Hunt, which Samuel Green friggin' jinxed me, but he went 36 casts, was 37 for 39.
Damn,
Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
He the ground floor hunt right before the World Hunt, he made I think it was 19 trees and had all plus.
Wow.
Dang.
That's
Yeah.
super
Samuel jinxed you.
Oh yeah, he got up there at the Calcutta and said, "Oh yeah, he just coming off a run and 37 to 39."
Ain't true squirrel since. Oh.
But now he
So
did.
what'd he go for?
Tree one up there. I just got beat.
What'd he go for in the Calcutta?
1,700, I think, or 16 something.
Wow. Well, while we're talking about Calcuttas, do you remember what the most expensive dog was in the Calcutta?
For this year,
Yeah.
Knockout was the highest of this year.
What
Wow.
about of any that you've ever seen?
The year that it was either the year that Woody won the JPI or the year that I got second with him. He brought 23 or 2,400.
So, so you won the JPI with Cruz, didn't you?
I won the JPI with Cruz. I've got second with Woody.
And you won a world hunt with Woody.
Won a world hunt with Woody. Yep.
Yeah. And you've been like in the finals of everything, like with knockout. Let's like on your resume. What's the biggest hunts? What's the I guess
your favorite accomplishment?
Yeah, yeah. What as far as your accolades? What's your favorite?
I've got this. I've had this question a bunch of different times, and it's not taking nothing away from the truck hunt, the worlds, because everybody wants to win a world. Don't get me wrong. I love,
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But as far as what I feel like's the biggest hunt that I actually have ever won, and the one I'm most proud of, was the JPI that I won with Cruz, because it was still when there was 27 invitees that had done winning all year or the year before. It wasn't just anybody that could pay $1,000 entry and show up.
Right.
You know, there wasn't a cast. I mean, every cast you was drawing world champions, you know, world hunt finalists, you know, state hunt winners, leaders. I mean, you was drawing the top of the line 27 dogs.
Yeah.
So you liked it that way instead of the way it is now with a little more money? It was a little more prestigious, would you say?
I feel like, and like I said, it's not taking nothing away from it now because I still love it. I mean, it's still a big hunt to win. You know what I mean? I mean, it's up there with everything, you know.
But every Joe Blow that's got $1,000 if they want to enter.
Yeah. And you know,
buy back in. Like if they get out the first round, they can buy back in, and
you get double chances to get in, and you know, any dog can have its weekend.
For sure.
Yeah. I've seen some dogs that's never looked good in my life look good for one weekend, and I'm like, where the hell did this dog come from? And then they never looked that good again.
Hey, that's Tyler Ashbury. Well, that wasn't Tyler. It was at the junior night. It was at the last side-by-side hunt they had that Joy won.
Okay.
He comes up to me before the cast. It's down to the final 6. Says, Bud, you won't have nothing to worry about. I said, what? Said, Joy's took minus every cast. He said, she's getting tired. She's getting wore down. So you ain't going to have nothing to worry about. 30 minutes into it, she was headed to her 4th one, and I was headed to the truck because she wasn't scoring enough.
Yeah.
Like $10 million. I said, yeah. She's due to take a minus, or she took a minus every cast, but she ain't going to on this one. I mean, it was black.
I asked a guy one time about Joy, and I was like, I heard sometimes she's on, sometimes she's off. He's like, no, she's always on. Sometimes she'll leave a tree, but she's always on.
I walked back into the clubhouse because I think I ended up 4th or whatever it was. And I walked back to the clubhouse, and Greg and all them, they was done. They was in there, and they said, well, how'd it go? I said, I got beat. I said, I'm telling y'all right now, y'all take her over at that park, y'all might as well just go on head back to Ohio because you ain't winning. And she just flogged them.
Hey, they by all accounts, and I never hunted with him. Wade hunted with him. I know Tyler's hunted with him. Travis Tate, like, there's a bunch of people that's hunted with him. But Joey's litter mate, Gunsmoke, Rod's hunted with him.
Rod says the best he's ever been with.
Yeah. And it was, hey, as far as I know, he was in one hunt. That was in Oklahoma. I think it's a 3-dog hunt, and he got 3rd. I think he got out of pocket. But, just wasn't campaigned. Like, big old pretty rascal. Rod also said it's the loudest dog he's ever heard in the woods.
Yep. Now, she looked good down there that weekend. But like I said, and I'm not trying to say that any dog that hurt, because I mean she's as nice as anything, but any dog can win any big hunt. I mean it can be your weekend, all the stars align, whatever. I mean and I can tell you every big hunt that I've won, or every big hunt that I've been in the final, I can tell you somewhere along the way that I caught a break to get there, sometimes I caught 2 of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Fact.
Yeah, it's almost like on those days, it's like you can't get beat. Like whether you mess up or the dog messes up, you still come out, winning.
The first full year that I hunted Cruz, of course, I just picked him up from Rod when he brought him up here to the world. Picked him up on Thursday, then ended up, getting reserved that weekend or whatever. But the first actual full year that I hunted him, I never took worse than fourth place all through the year. But, and it's literally like, be sitting there with 3 minutes left to go and beat and, need this dog to take a minus and you tree a squirrel. And the next thing you know, it takes a minus and you tree a squirrel and you're winner. It was just like that through the whole year. I mean, that dog, it was like he knew what he needed to do and he created his own luck. It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I feel like dogs like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, dogs like that makes like the best handlers. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to be like you don't always have to be like the best handler. You can have like a dog that just makes you look like a great handler. You know what I mean? Like I've been lucky enough to hunt a couple dogs but I've also had several that if you wasn't on your toes, they'd make you look stupid too.
About 100%. Yep.
So, a lot of people ask me, and I say, man, in all reality, I feel like you call it luck or get the breaks or whatever, but I feel like how does that happen? And I said, well, a good dog helps you gain a little luck.
You got to have a dog.
Put you in a position. Yeah.
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 The thing is,
hard to find.
And you got to have a dog that's consistent. Know what you're doing out of that box. It don't matter if you're in Michigan or if you're in Mississippi. You know what you're getting out of that box. And that's the main thing I look for over accuracy. Give me one part, don't quit, don't got no reverse, and it's consistent no matter where I jerk him out of the box at. That's the main thing. Because, like I said, knockout's as accurate as anything I've ever been in the woods with that I've ever handled or even hunted with. But people needs to really, don't lie to yourself. If you want to see how accurate that thing is, put your pencil to it every day. And it don't matter if you're home at the house or if you're going to a hunt. Do it for 60 days. And you will surprise yourself when you say, oh, I've got one that's 80%. Well, no, you're going to be down there about 50, 60% if you're lucky.
Yeah, right.
Now, do y'all have a lot of fox squirrels, or do y'all have a lot of cat squirrels, or what?
So when I was when I was younger, I always felt like we was half and half. Now we're more so higher end on the grays. We're probably 70-30. Now we can go to places and tree a lot of reds, and I can take you to a place and we go in there this evening and tree nothing but grays, and turn around there and go in the next morning and tree nothing but reds. But we're mostly grays.
Yeah, we're 95-5. We're gray squirrels, heavy.
Yeah.
You can get into pockets of the fox squirrels if you hit like a pecan orchard or something like that. But for the most part, if you kill 30 squirrels, it's probably 30 cat squirrels. Like it might not even be a fox squirrel in there.
Like up here, it's big farming country up here. It's alfalfa and tobacco and corn and beans and cattle everywhere. So you can go in these cow pasture hollers, and if you make, I about guarantee if you get treed down there, it's going to be a red. Then as soon as you get to the creek where there's a big patch of wood, you're going to treat nothing but grays. Them fox squirrels, they seem like they like them rougher little hollers that run up there. There'll be walnuts and odd and end stuff, hedge apples, and you'll tree reds up in there. But like I said, you get into the bigger woods, you're going to tree more grays than you are reds.
Dude, I'll see a fox squirrel out in the middle of an 80-acre field. No trees, just like it might even be raining. And like, what the hell is he doing out there? You'd think a hawk would catch him or something. But he'll be, way out in the middle of a field doing something.
Yep, they'll be out there digging or burying nuts.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing around here.
Yeah. But you don't see cat squirrels like that. The gray squirrels, they're too flighty. They don't, someone will catch them if they get out there.
Yeah, we're like I said, we're real lucky where I'm out here. I mean, you hear, and I've heard you all talk about it. Well, this year we got squirrels, and last year we didn't. And I've never seen that here. Now, I might see more on one hillside versus the other because there was acorns on that hillside, not on this side. But as far as saying that we've we've got them and we don't. I've never seen that here.
Yeah.
Well, we went was it last year when we had the pro hunt? No, or the year before last when we had the pro hunt, and we treed in 2 days the pro hunt and the state hunt, 100 and around 20 squirrels in 2 days.
Yeah.
At that was the beginning of November. The end of November, and in December, we had a hunt where we treed 2 squirrels.
Yeah.
I've never seen that here.
Hey, at the Squirrel Master Classic in Alabama, we went to a spot. There was a squirrel nest in every tree, but there was no squirrels. There was no acorn cuttings on the ground anywhere.
Migrated out.
Yeah,
like that.
They got to have food and cover. If they don't have both, they can't stay.
We're
I'd
lucky.
have loved to have been there when they was there.
Yeah.
Because they was nest everywhere. But it's a weird situation. How old is Knockout?
He just turned 6 this month.
Just turned 6. He had a heck of a year this year. Shane, read him accomplish himself. Right? Or what all did he win?
Man, you got to ask John. I don't have enough paper.
I really didn't win much of nothing, but I got in the finals of a lot. I got in the finals of James. I got in the finals of the side-by-side hunt, the very first one, our first hunt of the year. Then turned around the next weekend, went to Jamestown, got in the finals. We split it, then got in the finals of the truck hunt, got in the finals of the JPI, got in the finals of Dayton, Tennessee, got the finals of Boynton. Yeah, we had a big year. I think I only one ground floor hunt that I didn't do no good in. That was in South Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a big year.
Do you have anything up and coming? And you got a timeline on how long you got left with him, or?
But whenever he starts slowing down, I ain't switching nothing until he starts. When I can say, well, I ain't gonna be able to compete, you know. I said, you know, if I could have probably won the JPI and another truck, he might have seen a retirement board a lot sooner this year.
Yeah.
But we're gonna truck right on this year and see if we can't rack up some more.
Have you hunted anything out of him?
Personally, not yet. So his oldest litter won't be 2 till October. Everything else is like 10 months and under.
Y'all just made a supercross with Blackout, right?
Should be, yep. She's always been one of my favorites. She's in her day, she was as nice as anything in the country. So that's a grandmother grandson cross. So
I love it.
We're hoping that something lines up out of it. But so far, like I said, I bred him to the monkey female of Robert Biggers, which actually where we got Knockout from. She had 12 or 13, and I think they're about 7 months old, and 10 of them's treeing. I bred him to a hound female off of Willie, and I think she had 7, and I think 5, 6 of them's treeing. They're about 7, 8, 9 months old, and I raised a litter here off of she's some kind of Spike. I don't know if she was a litter mate to Spike or if she's off of Ace or somewhere along the Lost Bottoms line, but she had 6, and all 6 of them's treeing, which that's one of mine, the one that I kept down there at Braxton's right now. And he said he's really starting to crank.
So do you prefer hunting male dogs or females?
Buddy, I really don't care. I just want to hunt a winner.
Yeah, right.
I've never really been partial to either one. I like to make more so just because I know I'm not going to miss no hunting coming in heat, but it don't bother me either one.
Yeah.
Yep. So Blake says it's an Ace and Grace cross.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like I said, them pups is all really showing out, and of course none of them's ball mouth like he is. Heck, the one I got, he's a 120 a minute tree dog.
Wow. It's weird to me how as soon as they stop competing, all of a sudden they kind of become irrelevant, and it's whatever the new hotness is.
Yeah.
That's the nature Like there's very few that stay hot. That's just kind of everybody moves to the next flavor.
This is what I tell everybody. Everybody goes to ooh and on because this dog wins this year. It wins a hunt, the first hunt or gets in the finals, then turns around 2 hunts later, gets in the finals again. Then, maybe gets in another one or wins another one. Then next year, it don't do nothing. It's you don't hear nothing about it. And, maybe 2 years from now, well, there it is. It's in the finals again, I look for that one that's there every year somewhere,
Yeah.
He hunts in 10. He's knocking on the door, 6 or 7 of them, all throughout the year.
Yeah.
And like I said, right now, I've had knockouts since he was 16, 17 months old. I think he was about 19 months old, something like that, when I was in that first truck, and he's just been right there. He's been consistent every year, So until he slows down or gives me a reason to switch, I'm not looking for nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get caught up in wanting to keep something out of all the good crosses, but in all reality, the more you got, the less time you got to put in all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not doing them justice. They're not, you can have the best of the best, out there in the kennel as a pup, and if you ain't giving that thing a chance, it's wasted.
Dude, I've wasted a pile of them.
Yeah. And so it took me a little while to learn that when I was, until I got older, because I used to do the same thing with coon dogs. I'm going to have one, I'm going to have him and something else, because I don't gut him 5-6 days a week. These guys, I made 40 trees on Monday and 20 on Tuesday, then hunt him 5 hours or 3 rounds on Wednesday, then took him to the hunt, hauled him on the hunt on Friday, then I went down there and made 7 trees. I don't do that stuff. Once I get him in shape, the only thing I'm trying to do is maintain him. So, it gets me, once I get him in shape, then it gives me time that I can hunt something else a couple of days a week,
Yeah. He's not learning anything new. He's just staying in shape.
No, yeah, and he was, when I got him, there was a few things I needed to work on that I felt like he needed to get over to be an elite level. And so once I got them kind of lined out, he took to everything. It wasn't like something I had to just sit there and pound on him every, 2 or 3 days and, keep reminding him. Once I corrected him a time or two and let him figure it out, he's just been, rolling right on, don't get me wrong. He's probably do dumb stuff every cast I put him in this year, but, for the most part, he's very smart, very intelligent, and he took to correcting and learn from it.
Yeah. So let's ask this a question. What we talked about a little bit at the beginning, but how did you get into podcasting? Did they reach out to you, or did you decide you wanted to reach out to them, or?
No, of course I talked to Wade had called me about the Joy Super Hunt, and it just kind of led on to that. We was needing to interview the contestants for last year, and that kind of stuff. And he's like, I don't know if you know anybody that can do it, or if you can do it, but basically he's like, I need somebody to interview these guys. Josh don't know nothing, as far as the squirrel side. Yeah. Said, so we kind of need somebody. And I was like, yeah, so it ain't no big deal. I can help you out, whatever. And I thought that it was just going to be kind of a 3 or 4 thing. And next thing you know.
Well, yeah. You signed your name. Yeah.
We bring it up to Joy and the Super Hunt. I do got some breaking news.
Oh, it's growing. It's more entries. So
I saw that Candy made it in today.
Yep, Candy made it in, and Ethan, and we went up to 6 this year. So going to have 3 heads up, 2 dog cast the first round, and going to go down to a final 3. Be a random blind draw, just names, cards out there on the table, and get with it.
Yeah.
So be whoever. It ain't going to be, this dog versus this dog. It's just going to be a blind draw. But I've got somebody to invite if they want to go. If not, I'm going to have to find a replacement.
Who we got?
Feist dog out of Mississippi, I think. He's a little black, brown. I think he wants you to be every time.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Gunner, I'm in.
You're in? Good. Well, you will be our next contestant.
That's what I'm talking. Awesome,
Yeah, hey,
man.
you're representing the
I'm on top of
Feist
the world
guys, man. You representing the
right now. Hey,
Pocket Rockets. You got to show good.
the Feist to the top. No. Womac's got a Feist, don't he?
She's built
She's
like a
had a
hound.
fight.
She's feist.
Oh. That's awesome. That's awesome. When is this hunt? Do we got a date?
So right now, as long as if everything works out, the date is pretty much going to be the weekend of Thanksgiving. So we'll show up on Black Friday, basically, hunt Saturday.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Look, my wife is going to be mad if she's got something planned. Oh, I'm in.
You just got to send her a big old checkbook for Black Friday shopping as you're headed to Kentucky.
No doubt. No doubt. My head is getting larger by the second.
Yeah, he's got to zoom out.
Man, this is awesome. So we have Candy,
Gunner,
Dottie. Do we have
There's
do we,
three.
the OMCBA dog? And I hate to do that.
You got Bo Dooley with Daisy.
Bo Dooley. Yeah.
Daisy.
Daisy. And you, Larry Bird.
You got me with Larry Bird.
Larry Bird. That's kind of hold up. That's kind of seems a little rigged here.
Right now, I'm the invitee, but I'm probably gonna pawn it off on Joey and let him do the handling.
That's awesome. So, do we have any? Do we know all six? Or is all six public, or is there still some left?
We've got one left to invite. That I've contacted him yet, just ain't made it out to the public. And basically, what we've done this year. And like I said, everybody can point the finger at me because I've had 10,000 phone calls that I need to invite Joe Blow that won something down here, and this one here, he beat X amount of dogs, and he beat this one and that one. And I basically contacted everybody that held a world hunt, squirrel hunt, or a big major hunt, which is why the JPI champion come in. I mean, we figured that
right.
You go there, you beat 81 dogs, you done something.
Yeah.
So we basically went down the list, and I did it, and whoever had the most entries out of those 5 is who got their invite.
Awesome. So we're doing three two dogs the first round.
Yep.
And 1 3-dog the second round.
Yep.
Wow. This is going to be pretty cool. And last year y'all done a great job with the video and the editing.
Will all 3 casts be videoed?
Yes, all 3 casts will be videoed, and of course the final as well. So yeah.
Dude, that is fantastic.
And like I said, what Wade, hats off to Wade, because every bit of this, like I said, people think that he's blowing smoke and telling all this. From the time you leave your house, all 6 contestants and the judges, that he's paying for your fuel, your food, your room, and like I said, free entry. I don't know. I haven't discussed what the payout's going to be this year, but I mean it'll be some thousands. And it's basically winner take all. I mean it's.
Yeah, but even if it was 0 and they paid for everything and it was 0, just the bragging rights you get off of it in the notoriety from winning the hunt.
Like I said, this right here. I mean, where are you ever going to have the top 6 squirrel dogs as far as world champions or big hunt winners all in one place to hunt against each other?
Yep, right. It's going to be. Where's it going to be held at?
LBL.
Okay, yeah.
He rents a big old monster house. It's got pool tables, poker tables. It's legit. It's super, super nice. It's a big time.
So I think that this is a great way to promote the squirrel dog world, because I've got friends that have watched it that's never squirrel hunted. I got friends that have watched it that only coon hunt. And I understand it is costing, which it's great marketing for Joy, and I understand it's probably a significant amount of money for him to cash out for everything. But I look at that as, I mean, I feed Joy. Like, he is giving back to the community. You
Yeah.
know, you can't go to any of these other dog food companies. Well, back up. There is a select few but most of the bigger dog food companies aren't giving back.
Yeah, Victor's not giving back.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, and I told Wade this. Wade contacted me, and back when like the fish come out, and he said, "Hey, man," he said, "we got to get this stuff over to some squirrel hunters and stuff." He said, "Because we want it, everybody to try it, and let me know what you think, your honest opinion." So he sent me some bags, and I started feeding it, and I just told him, I said, "Wade," I said, "as far as I'm concerned, it's the best food you got on the market." I love the 24-20. That's what I was feeding before, and I fed other stuff. And I used to feed Joy years ago. The guys I coon hunted for, they was a dealer in Joy years ago. And, and I told him, I said, "I'm not trying to blow, air up your dress or smoke up your hind end, whatever. It is good dog feed." I mean, and I still get the phone calls. "Oh, man, it's making mine do this or this and that." I said, "Buddy, it ain't for everybody, just like you might be able to eat a hamburger and I can't. Some dogs it works for, some dogs it don't. But here's the thing, it works for mine, and he supports the hounds from beagles, squirrel dogs, coon dogs, labs, bird dogs, everything. And there ain't nobody else doing what he's doing. That's a fact."
Right. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, they're marketing well with the podcast and the YouTube and all that. And this is a way for him to give back. And I'm honored. I'm tickled to death because there's going to be, you said, all world champions. So I'm assuming there's 6 world champions or big money hunters.
Look, yeah, if it's not a world champion, he could have won a world hunt. Like they're all,
I thought Dottie's
they're all
won a
big
world
hunt
hunt.
winners.
She won the USDC World, yeah.
Twice, I think.
So
no,
I mean,
she won the world hunt and the JPI. That's it.
Not in the same year, but she won the World 2 years ago, then won the JPI this year.
Yeah.
So you don't know if you're hunting Larry Bird?
As of right now, I'm telling you no, because I'm going to make Joey do it. That's Joe and Richie's baby. I've hunted him. I took him to Mississippi last year when we first bought him and got him in the finals down there. But that's Joey and Richie's baby.
Wow.
Who do you like better, Magic Johnson or Larry Bird? The dogs.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Are they different or similar? Or?
No, they're different. Now, Larry Bird tree any kind of squirrel.
Yeah.
He's got as much talent as anything I've ever been in the woods with. Hands down.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a special kind of dog to tree squirrels and have them in their tree and above their head in 30, 40 mile an hour winds. And I've seen 2 do it my whole life.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Right.
I've seen some that could tree them, but I've seen them 2 that's been consistently have them with big, heavy, hard wind, 30, 40 mile an hour winds and have them sitting above their head. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Now, is MJ hunt similar in aspect of other than the?
Their styles a whole lot alike. I think, and I say they're different because Magic Johnson was a late bloomer. He got a whole lot later start than what Larry Bird did. So age might let him catch up and they be the same dog because they do operate a whole lot alike. I mean, they, I think, if squirrels is on the ground moving good, they're both going to go squirrel for each other. Mm-hmm. Them tougher days when the wind's blowing and they're laid up, they're out there sunning, I think Larry Bird's a step ahead.
Yeah.
And he's young.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Just turned 4 or fixing to turn 4, I think, somewhere right in there.
Wow.
He was actually started up here. Josh started him when he was like 6, 7 months old, and Chase and his stepdad actually come up here to an NSD hunt we had, and they got beat. We just sitting around there talking, eating lunch, and next thing you know, they talking about finding a young dog. And next thing I know, Josh made his daughter handle Pearl, and Josh was taking him hunting with Larry Bird, which he wasn't Larry Bird then. But and next thing you know, he was headed back to Tennessee, and Josh was coming back with no dog.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm fired up about this. It's a big year. Big year. I like it. And it's at the end of November, so I assume it'll be coming out right there, beginning of December, televised and all.
I would say, I mean, of course, all that stuff will be up to Josh, but yeah, I would say that sometime around that first week of December, maybe into the second week, you know, he'll have to basically have 4 hunts to edit and all that, but somewhere right around in there. And of course, everybody will have to be tight-lipped, and you can't even tell your wife who you won or if you got beat.
Man, it would be good to do a lot of media like the night before and like just more build up, you know, because you can get more content on that.
I think I'm gonna start a live Calcutta.
Oh yeah,
Look, I'm poor.
hell yeah.
The week before, you just start sending bids, and you know whoever gets the highest bid come Friday night, that's your dog's going to be, and you send it over to me, and we'll have you locked in, and they're going to be 6 to choose from.
You gonna allow everybody to bid on, or just the people there?
Everybody, we'll do one on just the people there too, but we're going to do one.
I like the idea of
Hey, I'm gonna take this. You go out to send somebody more than 500.
Hey, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't like the not having.
First World Hunt, they said you was squeaking so hard from Mississippi they was hearing it from in Ohio.
Woo! Woo! I done said I don't know how much I had invested in it. It was something. I told Blake before he went and won the 4-wheeler, I said, buddy, I really appreciate you taking him, and Bart hunted him at the USDC World Hunt, and then Blake took him to the 4-wheeler hunt, and I said, if we don't win something, we're going to start slowing down. We're dropping about $1,000 in 2 weeks. This gonna get wild.
Yeah, it can get expensive quick. And heck, you look now. I mean, you know, fuel and diesel $5-6 a gallon. I mean, it's rough.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, is the ground floor series, is it going to stay the same price this year?
As far as I know, yes. Which it won't be the ground floor series this year. It's basically going to be we'll have a title sponsor for it. It ain't going to be announced out yet, but it'll be its own series, basically like it was, you know, last year.
Yep.
And
So
the year before.
Is that the Pro Series that was advertised?
Yeah, that was basically, and you know, everybody's going to be, oh well, they copied off NSD. No, it wasn't nothing like that. We just had to.
Who cares?
We wanted to get our dates out there and be like, hey, this is our upper level hunt dates, without saying, hey, we're not copying off on anybody. This is our bigger hunt dates. You know, this is the Pro Series hunt dates.
Yeah.
Well, there ain't but so many ways for a wheel to roll.
Well, that's the thing, you know, and we're limited. You know, you got 4 months of the year that you can run a competition. Now, some of them guys start in September and October, but I'm not paying
down here
$1,000 entry or $1,000 entry going to somewhere and hunting with the leaves on. Ain't happening. Or hunting during, you know, gun season, and you know, you can't turn a dog loose around here the first 2 weeks of November. I mean, I can pick and choose because I physically got farms, but there's everybody and their brother's got a farm leased up here for deer hunting, and it's packing a 3-ton Win Mag. You know, I mean, I just ain't taking a chance.
Well, it's tough to, even if you're going way up north in September and early October, when we can't have our dogs in the right condition down here to go up there to compete.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough situation. Speaking of that, have you heard about our hunt?
The Plus Dub Cup. We have a date. We have a date for the Plus Dub
Well,
Cup.
I had a phone call wanting to know if I was ready to go to Mississippi, for a team
Arkansas.
event that didn't have a date yet.
So
Arkansas.
it's going to be in Arkansas and Hazen.
Been there.
Wattensaw.
Yeah.
I've been to
It's
Hazen.
gonna
I've been to that other place. I've been to wherever Tyler Holtz hunts at.
be
Yeah,
there.
it's the same place.
Same place, that
Yeah.
brick block building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to be January 27th, 28th, 29th. But anyway, we're going to have a team event, money hunt. We're going to do
What kind of history we talking?
$1,000 a team.
I like it.
We're gonna shoot for the moon and we're gonna try to hit a star. But everybody hunts every round. So you split up, and if you come in first place on the cast, you get so many points. You come in second place on the cast, you get so many points for your team, and you come in third place, it's either going to be so many points or 0 points. And at the end of the 3 rounds, the team with the most points throughout the 3 rounds, morning, afternoon, morning, best time, not a middle round. At the end of the 3 casts, we're gonna tally them up, and we're gonna claim us a winner.
Well, I know we got to find our third participant, but there'll be 2 of us down there for sure.
Hey, you could have a big creek team. It could be a USDC team. It could be a WTDA team. It could be a sponsored NSD team. Like,
Well, I'm looking for a sponsor, and me and Michael's on the team. We just need a third.
hell yeah! Hey, I might join the team. I might be the third wheel.
Yeah. What Matt says? What if you don't have any friends to make a team?
Hey, it's just like dodgeball when you in school. Somebody will eventually pick you.
Hey, if somebody's gonna want a teammate, especially if you're packing a good dog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think it's gonna be fun. We want to have an event where everybody stays because
Yeah,
you're hunting all 3 rounds.
how many times you been at a hunt at like maybe you get through, but your buddies they all lose the first round, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Heck, like you don't have anybody to help, you don't have anybody to hang out with, like
It'll
this
be
way
fun. Sure.
everybody hangs out.
Or is it unlimited teams, or if you got a number, or
We're hoping it's at least 10 teams, but no, we don't have a limit.
because technically you're not hunting nothing off. You're just basically hunting around and moving to the next round.
Yep.
So every dog will hunt every round.
See, we could even draw all 3 rounds. Once we have the entries, we could draw all 3 rounds at one time and say, hey, first round, this is going to be the setup.
Yeah.
Second round will be this. Because there's nobody advancing. It's just you could draw everybody at the same time and have first, second, third, or however you wanted to do it. But that if you do it like that and get everybody drawed early, you could do a Calcutta. You could do a Calcutta on the first round. You could do a Calcutta on the second round and third, or do it for all of it, or whatever. There's a bunch of ways you could do it.
I like to gamble.
Yeah.
Well, we just thought it would be fun. A fun thing that nobody else is doing.
And what y'all said? What Tyler's coming down there to cook?
Yeah, he talked about coming to it.
Yeah, come on.
Helping out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he said he was wanting to hunt in it, but he said, hell, it ain't been an hour from my house.
Hey,
So-
Scott Cappuccino done donated a dog box to raffle off.
That's awesome.
Yep. I heard we've got a couple of other guys that are interested in donating or being sponsors, and we're thinking about banners and
Yeah,
We-
if
we-
we
we
can
pull out all
get enough sponsors, it'll be 100% payout.
Yeah.
Like as long as we're not coming out of our pocket to host everything.
Yeah.
As long as we break even, it'll be 100% payout. So
Once you get a better idea how many teams it'll be there, then you'll have a better idea what's going on.
yep.
So Hunter asked, how many teams are we shooting for? I'd like 10. Now,
Minimum
you gotta think,
10, or at least 10.
30 dogs.
Hell, if there's
So-
7, that's fine too. But we're shooting for 10.
And
This thing might be We might have 15 teams. Who knows? But we're shooting for 10.
Yeah, we need to get us an idea of when we're gonna start taking entries, since we
Yeah.
have a for sure date. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's exciting. Exciting news. We got Joy in November, and then we'll start a bunch of World Hunts dates, and then we're gonna roll into the Plus Up Cup, and then we got the JPI. JPI moved this year, didn't it?
No,
Date
it's still
wise,
not good.
I'm talking about date wise. Didn't it move up a couple of
I,
weekends?
I think it went back a weekend or something. See,
I thought for
AEDC,
some reason.
it might have went it went one of the way or the other, but the dates basically is to get where you free up AEDC where you got 80,000 acres to hunt.
Yeah.
Ah,
I was
I got
thinking for some reason it went to the weekend before the NSD World Hunt, but I might be wrong about that.
I do good to keep up with what I got going on. We'll long something happening in November.
yeah.
Speaking of that, do you know if the JPI entries or when they're going to start doing the entries for the pro hunts?
They're going to be start going for sale as far as the pro hunt things, and the side by side will be June.
Hey, the one over here in Texas, close to me, it's a $10,000 added purse.
Yep. That's all Cody Barton's doing that.
Dang. Appreciate you, Cody. Lucky
Yeah,
Kennels.
that's awesome. So it says March 4th through the 6th is the JPI this year.
Yep, so that's what weekend before the NSD, right?
Yep. NSD's always the second weekend. Yep.
Yep.
So
I
it
think
moved
it jumped up 1 week. I think's what it done.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We got some big hunts scheduled this year. I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
Do you see any changes happening, or is it all kind of going to be the same with obviously new leadership and?
really, there ain't been much. I mean, as far as there ain't really been much changes as far as that. I mean, right now we're working on some rule stuff. Getting some of that kind of stuff cleaned up. And it's really nothing drastically changing. It's just basically changing some wording stuff where it says you can't do this, but it don't show you your punishment if you do.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you're like that. That way, it's trying to make everything more black and white, cut and dry. That sort of stuff. That right now everything's we got the website redone and working on the registry stuff. We actually are doing, which we tried to do it last year, but it just didn't work out. We're actually going to have probably one of the biggest changes is that the age for our junior dogs is going to jump up a little bit, and it's going to be more so because our junior world hunt this year is going to be its own separate thing. It's not going to be the day or two before the world hunt like it has been every year in the past. Because
Dude, that's awesome.
well, you got like last year, Michael was in for the king and queen hunt, but also wanted to take his junior dog up there and couldn't. Do you stay here and hunt for 8,000 or with no entry, or do you go up there and hunt your junior dog? But luckily it worked out. You got less to go up there and hunt her the first round, and it worked out. But take a little bit of pressure off. That way, Shane, you come from Texas and you got a junior dog, and then you got a senior dog. Let's make it two separate things. That way you ain't gone for 5 or 6 days from home and separate it. But so this year there's going to be a couple separated per se singled out junior dog hunts. Actually, one's going to be down there with Bart. Bart's going to hold one of them for us.
Dude,
Yes.
that's great. I love the junior stuff.
Do we know when the?
And the thing is, and we're going to make them where they're a good payout, but again, you're still going to be hunting basically a dog that's 3 and under. It's hard to go to 2 because, if you have a hunt in December, how many 2-year-olds is going to be there that's, going to be able to compete, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We had to work on our age dates a little bit, but it'll all work out.
Is it public what the age dates are going to be, or not yet?
I know. I mean, Bart has sent us his dates for sure, but it ain't been.
No,
We
no,
have,
no. I'm talking about. Do y'all have an idea of the age limit that y'all are talking
Oh,
about
for
moving?
the
yeah,
cutoff for the puppy.
we have an age. What we have an idea. We haven't publicly released it yet, but it will be coming soon.
Okay. I know Bart gave me a rough estimate, and I know the date he has down for the puppy hunt, but I didn't know if y'all. Apparently, y'all haven't set that in stone, so I ain't gonna
Yeah,
say that.
pretty much.
That's
Probably
awesome.
what Bart told you is pretty much going to be set in stone. But like I said, we're working on getting things finalized and getting it all of our ducks in a row before we start really releasing a whole lot. Anyway.
Do
Yeah.
you know? Do y'all have the location for the Junior World? Is it going to be in Ohio as well?
No, most likely not. We have talked about putting it more centrally located. Probably going to try to have a junior hunt south, one towards the north, make a junior
Yeah,
hunt somewhere more central.
that'd be awesome.
And like I said, none of that's set in stone, so don't hang me
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
changes
right, yeah.
Yeah.
being in Michigan.
Yeah.
But the idea right now is probably somewhere around Tennessee, somewhere having a junior world and going from there.
Yeah. And if it ain't right, don't come after us. Come after John.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I, I stay with a target on my back, so come on.
Dakota, I said the date wrong. It's the last weekend in January, so it's not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to be, I guess, the 29th and 30th. It'll be a Saturday,
It'll
Sunday,
be a Saturday and Sunday morning.
yeah. So that's for sure when it will be. But you got some visitors there to go coon hunting?
They ain't here yet. I'd say they'll be a little slower tonight because it just started raining about 5 minutes ago.
Dang, dang,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
See, it's dark there. Like, man, I can still kill squirrels right now. It's it's good light right now
If
here.
it wasn't cloudy and rainy here, I mean it's about 9:30, 9:40 before you can ever turn loose. It's actually hard dark anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's a question, or here's a statement, I guess. I wish USDC would eventually do a stakes type hunt, like the super stakes for young squirrel dogs rather than junior dogs. Getting to be so many world hunts that they could choose from for prestige, something like a 1 year old and a 2 year old, or something like that. So
Matt, I agree, but again, you're falling back to where that stuff's going to rely on DNA, and ain't nobody fooling with that. I mean, it's a great thing. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but the USDC was not based on, we don't care. Run what you brung. We don't
Yeah.
care if it's mixed up with a collie, and if you got a set of papers, and it's on you. You got to lay your head down at night that says it's out of Gunner and God knows what, but really it's out of Sackett Jr. and whatever. We don't
yeah,
care.
yeah.
I,
Speaking of y'all haven't got the website up, correct?
Oh, I think they do.
I think it's up now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I saw that Les Hart just put out that if you wanted to register puppies, you need to send them to him, get with him to get I guess, the papers.
Yeah.
So I
So
don't know
Les is handling all the register part, and we've had to redo the whole website. It was hats off to Les. People don't realize this, but since the end of the World Hunt, there ain't been a day went by that Les hasn't tried to do something that's been working towards getting the USDC lined out and ready for this year, and
Yeah.
without drawing a single dime for doing it. Like I said, people don't realize that there ain't a board member, there ain't nobody in the USDC that makes a single dime.
Yeah.
It's we're not doing it. We're not, charging you for DNA and charge you, the money you send in to register your pups, guess what? You get to hunt for it at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Your membership that you pay for, guess what? You get to hunt for it at the end of the year.
No doubt.
It's
So
JPS the best place in the whole world hunt.
my bad.
Hunter, I see. What I agree, Hunter. Manchester's awesome, but the way the USDC set up is, you have to win a cast. We don't make you hunt X amount of hunts or win a hunt to get qualified. So for us to have our, 50, 60 dogs at the end of the year, it's got to be at the end of the year, and you can't go really go south because of turkey season in March or
Yeah.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Tennessee, is turkey season open in March? I wonder. I know it
I
does
don't
in
think they
Mississippi.
open in March. I think that they open the very first weekend of April for their youth, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
oh, I'm with you. Our turkey season it opens March 15th.
But
So,
you take like this year where everything was so warm and everything budded out and leaves so soon. If you'd had a world hunt the last weekend of March in Tennessee this year, you was full leaves.
hmm
You
yeah.
know, it's just
I
I
agree.
mean, it sucks. It's part of it, but especially for you guys that if you do want to come to it, and we'd love to have everybody, and having to drive X amount of hours, whatever, 10, 12, 15 hours to Ohio or
Yeah.
wherever, it does suck, but it's our hands is tied.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's always going to be at Mount Orb. It just happened to fall back there this year for sure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with what we had, and we're looking at other places to maybe jump it around and have it here and there, and we're looking at some different things that we kind of tried to implement last year, but didn't work out for this year to give some of them guys a more of a chance. So
Oh, I
I
was
think
grinning on that Brownsville location
Mm.
that was supposed to
Yeah.
be at.
Yeah.
Brownsville, yeah,
Yeah.
I went there a couple years ago. They had a ground floor hunt down there, and that's the first time I'd been down there, but was in good hunting, treat a pile of squirrels.
Didn't Tommy
Yep.
Carroll host a hunt there? And they had a
Yeah,
bunch of squirrels, I think.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with there, it's so flat. I think if they get a bunch of rain, like if they was to get 2 or 3 inches of rain, like 2 days before the world hunt, that place is flooded. You're getting around there in a duck boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang.
It's not far off the Mississippi River.
Yeah, they said that if it rains, if it was to just come a big rain 2 or 3 inches in one day, that their hunting went from 10,000 acres to 100.
Yeah.
Which don't hold me. That's just what we were told. I don't know that for sure, but they do say that it does flood bad down there if they was to get a big bunch of rain. So
Mm-hmm.
there's all kinds of things that we got to put into play because Lord knows we don't want to get down there. And if it was to rain 2 or 3 inches before we get down there, then you ain't got nowhere to hunt, and you're walking in a foot of water the whole cast, and that ain't fun.
I've done that in Montrose, Mississippi. They had a tornadoes come through, and dude, it was, I forget how many thousands of people were without electricity, but whatever way you went to the woods to go hunt, you couldn't go back that way because there was trees down everywhere. There was, even after the evening round, there was trees uh, falling in because the ground was so saturated. There was trees, big trees, falling in the woods. At like we had walked in, it was about maybe 2 inches of water, and when we come out, it was like knee deep.
I
Like
went to
the
South
water just
Carolina.
come up so high.
I went to South Carolina to a crow hunt one time, coon hunt, and we got out, and the guy said he was while we were walking around, he dug in the back of his truck, he got a pole out about 6, 7 foot long, just over like a hickory limb stick. And I said, "What's that for?" He said, "I suggest you find one or cut one." I said, "Why is that?" He said, "You'll see." We literally walked for 900 yards or 1,000 stepping on stumps through 4 foot deep of water, and that's how we got across it.
Wow.
Dang.
And I ain't been back.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, ain't no doubt. Shane don't like Mississippi.
No, hey, dude, I've had some good luck in Mississippi. I've had some. Matter of fact, I got a reserve at that one, the one with all the water. But no, I've had some bad luck there too. Over there, it's a delta. That was in Montrose. It's the Delta Triangle that we lose communication with our dogs and stuff. So like over there, it's kind of like what John was saying. There's no Garmin's over there either. Like,
Yeah, no Garmin
Hey.
service over there.
I lost my dog. Like I just had to wait for him to get treed. Like I lost him for what? 30 minutes, 45 minutes?
Oh, dude. So we rode off and then came back to where we was at. It's probably 30 minutes. and we was thinking he was miles away. Which way do we need to go? And at the time he come treat about 400 yards.
We was in North Carolina, and mine the whole weekend. I pick up other people's dog in the cast. I'd pick up somebody 4 or 5 miles away, then pick up mine. Then it would show. I would completely lose mine. Just it would leave the Garmin. Then 15 minutes later, show back up, and I wouldn't be doing nothing. And it done it the whole weekend of the truck hunt out there. Well, the second round or whatever it was, I drawed Shane Price. He was hunting. I think it's that real deal. I think he's off of Messiah or Romeo, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was hunting him.
I think he's off of Messiah, I think.
Yeah, we cut loose, and I treated a squirrel right out of the truck, and I got cut back loose. And, it was me, him, and Dottie, and I got cut back loose. And, heck, like I said, I don't pull out my Garmin hardly ever, really watch it. But anyway, we walked a little bit, and Shane was out there hitting up in front of us. And all of a sudden, mine rose up treed in there, and I treed. He was like, how far is he? I said, heck, I don't know. I said, whatever. And I pulled out my Garmin, it's 148 yards. I was like, that ain't right. If he, he's in something if he's 148 yards.
Yeah.
But we take off walking, and I'm picking up Shane's dog. Well, then when we walked past it, I picked up mine. Then it went back to picking up his. Then as we're still headed to mine, he trees in. Well, then they stop because they want to listen for mine. Well, when we stop and listen for mine, I pick his back up, and I just turned around, and I looked, and I smiled. He said, what? I said, you want to do it or you want me to? He said, what? I said, you ain't there where you was before. He said, I'm picking up your dog.
You're cheating. You're picking up my dog.
Yeah, he said, well, I was hoping he'd make a bark. I said, well, he ain't.
Well, we're talking about collars.
There was numerous people out there that had all kinds of trouble that weekend with their Garmins.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about colors and stuff. Do you think that if some of the competition hunters went to Garmin that to make it to where they could not be manipulated and make big colors, that they might look into something like that for competition side? Or do you think that that's something that they're going to buy it either way? I don't care.
Well, from what I've heard, I think it's a money thing from Garmin because right now they've got to buy 2 collars to make one cheating collar. So if they make one competition style collar, they're only going to sell 1 instead of 2.
Yeah.
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 That'd be bad marketing, on them. But ideally, I mean, if it was a perfect world and all these organizations had good money and all that, and they was making money, if you could have 40, 50 collars at every hunt that was right, and here, you sign up.
You put them on, you assign it to the dog. I've never thought about that. You can't do it.
You got to be realistic. Who's going? What organization out there is going to be able to afford to spend 300 and whatever dollars on 50, 60 collars? You look at PKC. How many hunts do they have a week?
Oh,
yeah.
They have to have 10,000 collars, but the bigger hunts, and like I said, I will tell you that it states right there in our rules that you can check a collar anytime during the cast. And soon as you're drawed out, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. When you're drawed out, it don't matter if it's the night before. You're part of that cast.
Yeah.
So the next morning, if you just so happen, I put that on him because he's barking in the box. I forgot. Sorry about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them guys, if they're doing it, they got to lay their heads down tonight. You know what I mean? Karma's you know what?
Yeah.
No doubt.
I talk to, like I said, there's guys pulling in my driveway right now that competition hunt, and I know a lot of people that big time competition hunt. I mean, doing it for a living, and they're not packing them, but because of making them stay treed or making them get treed. They are literally packing them because when timeout's called or the end of the hunt and they've won, they can tone that thing to come back to them.
Yeah.
But there is a few out there that is toning them to make them get treed or make them stay treed or whatever, and they just, like I said, it ain't right. It ain't fair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, any way you look at it, any way you cut it, the rules say you can't have a collar that manipulates prongs, tone, shock, vibrate, whatever. I mean, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So
Hey, I was talking to a guy. This has been a handful of years ago, but he's over here around my way, and I was like, "Yeah, man. I heard there's a woman in Mississippi that'll make those dummy collars." And he goes, "Oh yeah, where do you think I got mine from?" I was like, "Oh,
yeah. So ask John, has he used the LTE device on the Garmin colors yet? Just curious how well they work.
I haven't personally used them, but one of the boys I coon hunt with, he's got one of them, and it is pretty slick because he can, if he's got somebody else hunting one of his dogs and he's got that collar on, I mean, heck, he can watch what that thing's doing from the house.
Yeah,
oh
and you
wow,
can see if they're actually hunting a dog.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a guy, you give him $1,500 a month to hunt your dog, and tell him, hey, you need to run this collar every night you're hunting it. There ain't no hiding unless you're gonna tie it on yours or somebody else's.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they are pretty slick. They're a good backup kind of thing because you can run them like you do the dog trails or whatever, and I mean it's like Garmin, maps or Google Maps
yeah.
yeah.
on your phone, but they're pretty slick.
That's pretty cool. But well, man, I know you need to go hunting, and we've been on here an hour and 40 minutes. It probably don't seem like it, but but dude, we appreciate you coming on. You're a wealth of knowledge, a top handler, great dogsman, and
In my opinion, he's the best handler I've ever been in the woods with. I think I think if I was Marty Munn, if I could pay anybody to handle a dog, it'd be Jon Perkins.
yeah,
Like I said, I appreciate it, and like I said, I've had a target on my back through this stuff, and it ain't because I'm the type of guy I can draw out. I can sit here with us, talk like we are, and draw out with you two the next morning. And for that hour and a half, I promise you, I am trying to beat you any way that I physically can, legally can. Without breaking, without. And if I don't do my part, why should I expect that dog to do his?
mm-hmm.
And that's the way I've always looked at it. And, probably a lot of it come from I grew up PKC hunting around here, and I started getting some $25 lessons, and it didn't take me long till I started giving him $25 lessons. But,
yeah,
I mean, and there ain't much, I mean, you all know it, there ain't much handling per se that goes on in the squirrel hunting, but there is if you really know and you really pay attention. But 90% of these guys, when they do get out handled, they don't know it.
yeah.
They think their dog done something wrong, or they think, they blame it on something. They don't know that they just got out handled.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But I want to say thank you very much for the
We
opportunity.
appreciate it.
I'm excited for coming on, number one, and for the opportunity to hunt and enjoy super hunt. I'm extremely honored.
Shane, both of you, I appreciate y'all inviting me to come on. But yeah, like, congratulations. I mean, it's, you might not, and I might not either. We might not ever get an invite again, so I'm not taking it lightly, and I don't think anybody should.
Sure.
I mean, you're getting 6 of the best. I mean, out there to compete against, and if you win it, it's going to be something to hang back there on your wall. Even if if we don't give out a plaque, make something. I mean,
Yeah, right.
it's a pretty big deal. I mean, it is.
Ain't no doubt.
And
And
I'm sure you'll talk to Wade or hear from Josh, or whatever. And like I said, before them, but I know Wade really appreciates, support for the podcast and, Joy Dog Food and being willing to come. So we'll look forward to it, that's for sure. I'm sure we'll talk more before then, but
yes,
it'll be fun.
And for those of y'all that don't know, Mr. Jon does the Fueled by Joy podcast, and he's been interviewing folks. So if y'all haven't heard of that, go check it out in Cane Stream Media.
Check it out.
Give him a shout out.
I'm going to get paid for this one. I'm going to get you to forward it over to Josh and say that
yeah, no doubt.
But no, we will. Like I said, like I told you there the other day, I will call one day and we'll talk, stuff about you and Gunner and what you want. And UMCA, so I'll be learning, as much as anybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we'll
Awesome.
be good.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, and we really appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, see y'all.
Yep.
Peace
See y'all.
out.